Hi Horizon, it's time to get outrageous again. We are here to work with the elements of art. If you guys remember, these are the ABCs of art. So just like you learn the ABCs for reading and writing, and you learn 1, 2, 3s for math, we're going to be working on the elements of art. And the elements of art are line, shape and form, color, texture, space and size, and value. And today we're going to go over and we're going to work on a project which I think is a lot of fun with lines. We'll use a little bit of shape and form with some circles and some triangles and rectangles. Those are shapes, and there's also some fun shapes like cloud shapes. We're going to work on those today. And always we use color. Color is one of the most fun elements of design. But we are going to be blossoming into our lines. So right here in this chart that you can see the elements of design, or elements of art, you can see all the different lines. We've got perpendicular lines, parallel lines. We've got lines go left and right, up and down, squiggly lines. We've got lines that make emphasis really big or really small, swirly lines, thick and thin lines. And we are going to look at all different types of lines. So this sheet is the one that we are going to hand out for you guys today, and we're going to practice drawing. So sometimes when you want to do art, or sometimes when you want to do an illustration, or if you're writing a story, or if you're explaining a process to somebody, illustrations are really good, and lines can give a lot more than just a straight line. So a straight line doesn't have a lot of activity going on, but all these other lines, they're very different, and they kind of give a little bit more to the picture. So we're going to work on our lines today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create some line creatures, and I'll show you guys an example here. So this is an example, and if you can see, this is a line creature and we've created. And all we're doing is we're practicing drawing all the different lines. You can do your own lines. You don't have to do the lines that are on this sheet, but there's a lot of cool lines on this sheet, and you can see that I've done them here in this little cute line monster. So you're going to take these little pieces of paper that are this size, and we're going to draw some lines. I'll do an example, and then afterward you can add some eyes and some mouth, and we can do some glue sticks and get out the glue sticks and stick those on, and that's kind of fun. But ultimately what we're doing is we're practicing our lines. So let's put her over here, my little line monster over here, and I'll show you. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get out our markers, and you can use any colors you want. I'll just get some of these markers out here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick some lines to try to draw. So here's a curved one. So maybe I'm going to draw some hair on my monster, and I'm going to go like this and draw a curved line. That's fun. And then let's say that I want to do maybe like an eyebrow one. I think maybe this castle right here would be kind of a fun eyebrow one. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do some eyebrows just like that. I think that would be kind of fun. In fact, what I might do is do them upside down, and I'm going to put my eyes right inside there when I lay them on. Then let's see, look at lots of these others. I like this cloud line. I'm going to practice that. It's kind of a, wave or clouds like that. And in fact, I like that so much, I'm going to do it again with green. And then I like the zigzag line, so I'm going to take my blue, I'm going to make a zigzag like this. And don't worry about it. Don't worry if it's perfect or just like this. You make your own. See how I did a long one and then some short ones? That's totally fine. And then I'm going to do a dotted line. I love the dotted lines. I'm going to do little dots. And you just take your dots for a walk. You make some dots all the way across the page. In fact, you can dip them down like you're following this up here. I always think that's kind of fun. Doesn't have to be straight. And this is just your practice sheet. We're just basically practicing lines. Okay. And then, let's see. I'm going to do a couple more here. I love the street one. That's one of my favorites. So I'll just draw a little, even though this is a monster, we're going to do this. Maybe this monster has a street going through like that. I just think that's neat. So anyway, this is the start, and you can see with our lines, this looks kind of textury like a monster, or this could be kind of robotic like a street. But whatever your mind has in place, you just draw it and start to create your creature. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fill in, and you're just going to shade in with your crayon. So you're going to go back over with your crayon and just kind of shade in. You can do rainbows, you can do blues. I did all kind of cool colors, and you just shade in. So this kind of gives you guys an example for a line monster. So then now we've got that, and just add in a few details. Like here's a little mouth, so we'll cut that out. You know, a little black piece of paper, we'll cut that mouth out. We'll just put, actually I'm gonna stick it right there, I think, maybe right there, kind of put. And then get a piece of paper like this. We're just gonna cut some eyeballs out. Don't be shy. Don't worry about if it's not a perfect circle. No monsters are perfect. And you put on your eyes there. Oops. There you go. Like that. And I like to draw my eyes a little bit like Muppet Kermit's, with eyes like that, with little slits through them. I think that's kind of fun. So there we are. You can see the shape of our little monster and how he's turning out. So that's kind of fun. So you can do that, and that's just practice, and you're done. So the second thing we're going to do when we explore lines, so we've made our monster, so it's our practice. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to take a drawing, okay? I bet you guys have seen drawings like this where you have the horizon line, okay? It's just a straight line. You may have a sun and then a cloud and some stick people playing ball, that kind of thing. So when you guys are doing your illustrations, you might do something like this. Well, what if this drawing turned into something like this? This is very simple. These are just very simple lines. And I'm going to show you something, how we can do something like this. This is a scene in water, and it's very simple. It's really all done with lines. What we've done is we've done the grass line here and just carried it across. We've done a horizon or straight kind of curvy line here, just kind of right here with the sand. We've done a little wave line for the water, and we've done a curlicue for the clouds, okay? And those are kind of shapes. Those are natural shapes. And then what we did is we did dots over here. We kind of took the line for a walk, and we did some dots all along the sand. You can see it walks around here. And that brings some interest and some dimension. So what this project is 4 lines. One here, another one here, another one here, and the clouds here. And that kind of gives 4 different spots to the page. So here's your water, here's your land, and it's a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to draw one with you, and you guys can see how easy and fun this is. So let's say that we went to the city for the weekend, and we went with our parents, and we want to tell the story. We want to draw an illustration and tell the story. Well, the illustration part is pretty easy. We went to the city. What do cities have? They have streets. So we're going to go ahead and draw a road. And how do we do that? With dash lines. And that's that simple. Then the city, what else does the city have? Which I'm sure you guys see in the city, it has buildings. So we are going to draw another line up here for buildings. And sometimes they're right next to each other like this. And you can be free with it. And sometimes they connect this way, like that. Okay, buildings. And then up at top, there's always clouds in the big city. So we're going to do kind of a little across like this for clouds. Now all of a sudden you get a really good idea that you're in the city. And this is where the fun part comes in. You can start drawing details. Well, what's on the buildings, right? So these are buildings. Well, what's on these? Well, maybe an antenna. Oop. Or maybe up here, a door that goes to the top of the building, or a chimney, little smoke. Or maybe, I think there's a lot missing here, like doors and windows. Let's make a door right down here, okay? And then maybe we're gonna make a bunch of windows. And those are just shapes. So remember we talked about another element of design, and it's shapes. So these are just square shapes. and you can just fill them in. You can also do straight lines for windows like this if you want to go quicker. And it gives an idea that you saw a building with all kinds of windows. And then maybe down here, we'll make a bigger door section here. And then maybe this right here, kind of caveats down like this. And we have a little skinny building in there with a little, you know, kind of like this. So whatever you want to do, it's your building, and however you want to fill it in. You can then draw a car. Maybe down here. You guys are better drawers than me, but there's a car. So now this drawing looks a lot more detailed than something like this, and it's because we just used our lines in a different way. We really took our lines and added them in here. We added a street with the dashed lines. That's kind of detail, and we used some of our shapes with a line across to make the different buildings different heights and different sizes. And then here we use the clouds, and that's just a line across. So I hope you guys have fun with this. There's nothing you can do wrong. This is all practice. So you have two parts to this. One part is the line monster, and you're going to practice your lines. And then the second part is you're going to do a drawing on a piece of paper that's a landscape drawing with 4 lines. So there's one, the street line, and there's 2 with the city, and then the clouds. Now you don't have to do this. You can do a water scene with these lines, you know, so use the lines to what you see. You can do lightning across the page, whatever you want to do. Think about in your mind a scene that you want to work up, and try to put in a line or two, and then use your crayons to shade it in, and it'll look cool. Have fun.